Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We're gonna do another episode recap for Days of Our Lives. Today is June 17, 2024. The time doesn't fly, I mean, we just started and look where we are now. The end of the month is next week. So time is flying. Alright, so today's episode, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 for me because I think it was still missing something, but for the most part, it was great. So we start off with Brady at the Kirakas mansion. So Brady was cleaning up, after everything that has happened with Konstantin last week. That was a week ago, right? So he's just cleaning up the mess, right? So we see Tate coming in, and Tate heard about everything that's happened there on social media. Teenagers and social media, right? So he came in, saw his dad, and said, I heard everything that has happened. Are you okay? Is everything okay? So yes, he filled them in about what has happened. He asked if his mom is okay. So Brady said, yes, your mom is okay. She's upstairs taking care of business. So he said, taking care of business. What you mean by that? So basically, Teresa and Alex are having their, intimate time. That's what he's trying to say, right? So, Tate is asking, is everything? Are you okay with it? You don't seem okay with it because how Brady's face look, you can really tell that something is going on with him. So Tate asks him, how are you feeling about it, right? So of course Brady is upset about it because he felt like he was used by Teresa because she really wanted to be with Alex, right? So he feels used, he feels duped, he feels just like a third wheel in their scenario, right? So what happened after that is we see where Teresa and Alex are in bed. They're having their little intimate moment. Of course, I really didn't care for them and their scene, but we have to recap that. So yeah, they were having their intimate moment, and she was he was asking her how she feel now with everything that's happened, and she said, her wrist is a little bit sore. They started to have another intimate moment, and he was asking her after they had their session. He was asking her, what did Constantine mean about Teresa being a thorn in his side? So, she was recapping from last November when she stood up for herself when Constantine accused her of just being there for money. Of course, we know the real truth that she was behind everything with Alex's true paternity and changing the will from Victor. So I hope we do find out the truth for them. I mean, let's hope. So the next scene that we see Paulina and Abe, right? So Paulina and Abe, they're there. She's still upset about what's going on with the organization and EJ, what they're doing to recall her as mayor. So she started writing an article to the Spectator to see if they would change the narrative for her. So she's a little bit stressed, and then Abe is there. Abe is trying to relax her. They both talk about the fact that their wedding anniversary is coming up on Juneteenth, and they talked about having a celebration party for Johnny and Chanel because Johnny and Chanel are going to LA for Johnny to do his job as a director. So they having a little going away party for them. So that's gonna be on the same day. Of course, Paulina is sad. She doesn't want to say goodbye to her daughter, but how it is. Abe is saying, as parents, that's the hardest thing for us to really do, which is true. I have a daughter, and I am dreading that moment when I have to say goodbye to her if she goes off to college or go off on her endeavors. No parent really wants that, right? So yeah, we see the next scene we see is with Nicole and Eric. So Nicole is at her job at the Spectator office. she's doing some article and Jude is there. So Eric comes in. She didn't know that Eric was gonna come in or Eric was working that day, and she would not have taken Jude because she knows how hard it is for Eric to be around Jude right now, given everything that's happened. So Eric saying that's okay. He's getting over it slowly but surely. Of course he misses him, but he's hanging in there, right? And of course, when you put Nicole and Eric together in close proximity, there's always some underlying feelings, there's always some history recap, and I'm like, I don't know why the writers do this, but they always do this, especially when they're in separate relationships. And especially now that Eric and Sloan are done, so now he can more tap into those feelings he has for Nicole, right? Because regardless, even if Nicole is in a relationship or a marriage, they always wound up together, no matter what, right? If you think about Nicole and Rafe, you think about what Nicole and Eric did. Yeah, and Eric was with Jade at the time, right? So they always seem to wound up together no matter what. I don't know why the writers always do this to the other parties, because that's not fair, right? And EJ, again, I know EJ has done some wrongs, but he doesn't deserve that at all. He has been faithful to Nicole. I don't like that, you know. But yes, so Nicole and Eric, they had some interaction, and Eric is telling her about everything about Sloan, and that he wants a divorce from his wife, so he needs her help to write up a publication in the newspaper saying that he needs a divorce, and he's serving Sloan a notice. So of course, if Sloan does not respond, which I know she won't respond, then the court can handle that, right? So of course, Nicole is being vindictive and petty, and she's writing up all kind of slanders and insults towards Sloan, and Eric is like, no, 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 you can't do that. And Eric also informed her that EJ is his lawyer, and of course EJ has a stake in it, given that Sloan stole his baby, and I put that in air quotes because we know it's not his baby. So they're there, and she finished writing up the article to put out there in the newspaper, and that's that with them. So we see where we left off on Friday, the cliffhanger with Stefan. So Stefan found out that Jude is not EJ's son. So of course he has leverage, which we talked about on Friday's episode, that okay, he's gonna use this against EJ for some reason, and that reason is obviously about getting Gabby free out of jail, right? So EJ comes in, wanting to talk to Stefan because, of course, he heard from Kristen that he's not the acting CEO no more, so he's angry, right? So Stefan says, I need to talk to you too. I have something in my hands. So Stefan revealed that he knows that he's not Jude's father. So EJ played it off like, okay, he forgot about it in the safe, and then he turned it around to say that somebody was pranking him. But Stefan sees through all that BS, and Stefan says, you're too calm for this. You're not reacting ferociously or nothing like that. So you already knew. You already knew. So of course EJ is backed into a corner. So now he's like, what do you want? So Stefan is with a smug. He had that smug look, and then him said, well, I need my wife free, and I need my wife free like immediately. I'm not gonna wait long. So EJ is saying that he does not have that DA title anymore. Paulina let him go. So what can he possibly do? So Stephanie saying, you know what situation you're in now, so you know how to act accordingly, right? So they're back and forth, and they're arguing back and forth about calling insults and all of that. So Nicole walks in with Jude, and Nicole is saying, what are you guys fighting about now? So they kept it simple. Of course, Stefan is rubbing it in with his little indirect statement. EJ said that he had to go. Nicole wanted him to go upstairs with Jude, put him to sleep. But EJ said, all right, I have something to handle. So, Stefan is just looking at him again with that smug look on his face. EJ is on a mission because again he needs to hold on to Nicole and Jude, and he will be damned if anything comes in his way, right? So we see where Tate is at the mansion, right? And Brady is off to the pub because they want to have lunch or dinner together, right? So Tate said he will catch him up because he had to leave a note for his mother because his mother was busy upstairs, right? So when he was writing the note, Holly came in. So of course they didn't know that each other was going to be at the mansion. So it was a pleasant surprise, and they embraced and they talked a little about what has happened at the Kiriakis mansion, and that Holly was there to see her grandmother and Tate was there to see his mother. So of course that didn't happen for either of them. So they started talking about the prom, and Holly is grounded, so Holly can't even go to the prom. But Tate, and even it doesn't matter because Tate's parents are chaperoning the prom, so it wouldn't look cool for them to be there, right? They're not allowed to see each other according to their parents. So Tate said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna find a way." And they started to embrace, and then Teresa walked in. I don't know why they feel so bold to do that because they know a lot of people know them and know that they're not supposed to be together. So I don't know why they keep making that move. So Teresa came in, and Teresa said, "What are you doing here? You guys are not supposed to be together." So of course, she started talking down to her, and Tate is like, "You don't gotta be rude to her." She said sorry, let's move on. So of course, Teresa saying she's no good for you, right? That point, Holly just left and said, "You know what? Let me just leave." So Teresa and Tate had it out, and Tate was saying like, "Who are you to judge? Because you're up there with your stupid boyfriend Alex." So he just left after that. He just left. So of course Teresa is upset about that. Tate did mention in that argument that she did not care about nobody but herself, right? And then she was saying, "But I just got kidnapped. I was held hostage. All playing victim as usual." So Tate did not care. Tate just wanted to leave, and he left. You know. So we see where I should backtrack a little bit. When Teresa and Alex was in the bed, she said she was hungry. She worked up an appetite. So Alex said, "All right, where do you want to go?" So she said, "Can you get me a burger from the pub?" So he said, "All right, cool." So that was where Alex went to, right? So Alex was picking up the order, and then he was going out when he sees Brady, because Brady is supposed to have a meal with Tate there. So he was saying, "Brady, let's clear the air," because everything was just awkward since the whole dealing with Teresa. So he's saying, he's sorry about how everything went down, and he's to blame for part of it because of his mixed feelings, and then he was dealing with Crispin. So he's serious about this relationship with Teresa. And Brady said that she used him, and of course he knew that this was going to happen, and so he felt a kind of way. So of course Alex is apologetic about that, but they cleared the air, and they confirmed that okay, they're an item, and Brady understood that, and they left it right there, right? So Alex doesn't want it to be complicated because Brady works with him at Titan, and they're also family, right? So they left it there. So we see where Eric comes over to Brady, and they chopped it up about what has happened at the mansion, and Eric is asking him how he's feeling, how everybody is doing, how is Teresa doing. So he said, Teresa always lands on her feet. One thing about her, she's a survivor, so she is okay, right? So Brady asked him about how he's doing, regarding, he said he's getting there, and yeah, that was where it's at. He's doing a lot better, and he said, "How are you gonna feel working with Nicole, right? Working with Nicole at the office, considering Jude and everything." And he said everything will be fine. Of course, he did not answer about the part with Nicole because, again, that's another complicated story, right? So we see the scene where Nicole asks Stefan, came back downstairs, asked Stefan, what's going on. So Stefan is saying, EJ will do anything to protect his family. So that was where that conversation left off, right? So we see the last scene, one of the last scenes with Holly and Tate, and they're embracing yet again, and Tate doesn't care who does not approve of their relationship. So they had a moment. But the last scene would be EJ went over to Abe and Paulina's place. So, they're having a glass of wine, they're relaxing, considering everything that is to come. So they hear a, loud knock at the place. And they said, who is that at that hour? So of course they open the door and they're surprised to see EJ, and EJ is like, he thought about what Abe said, and he's gonna back down with the whole concerned citizens of Salem organization. He's gonna back down, leave Paulina alone. However, he needs something in exchange. So that was where it ended, right? So that is it for today's episode of Daysofourlives. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye.